In this video, I'm doing a Warhammer 40,000 Q Team battle report. It's Harlequins versus Tau. The armies are 200 points with commanders, and it's a campaign game. Alright, so this is the third month of the Q Team campaign at my local hobby store. And in the first month, Commander was not released yet, but from the second month of the campaign onwards, we are actually allowed to play commanders. If we do, we play 200 points and we use the commander missions. And it's specified that we'll only play the match play missions. So when we roll for the mission, we got Exemplars of War, which is to kill with the commander basically. And when we wrote that, my opponent laughed because Tau doesn't really have very fighty commanders. So onto my list. From left to right, I have a Troop Master as my commander. He's a level 1 strategist equipped with the Harlequins Kiss and the Neuro Disruptor. Next will be my leader. He's level 4 and he's equipped with Embrace. His specialisms are Bold, Paragon and Tyrant. Next is my MVP, my level 4 medic. He has Embrace. He has Field Medic, Anatomist, Trauma Specialist. And next is my Combat Specialist. He's equipped with a Caress, with Warrior Adept and Combat Master. And then I have my Zealot, level 3, with Embrace. He has Exultant and Puritan. And I have my Fire Teams. They are the same. So two of them, they are equipped with Caress and they are level 4 already, so they have 3 extra abilities. Lucky, which is reroll 1 for saves. Lethal in melee, which is reroll 1 for wound. And Fleet, which is +1 movement. Now to my opponent's list. His commander is a Cadre Fireblade, level 1 specialist. He has 2 stealth suits. One is a leader, level 2, inspiring. The other one is a heavy specialist, level 2 with suppressor. Then he has a sniper level 2 sharpshooter. It's a Pathfinder gunner with a real rifle. In his fire team, he has another 2 normal real rifle gunners. Okay. Then next, he has comm specialist level 2. It's a fire warrior with a turret. And he has 2 breachers, and other than that, he has 5 shield drones, 2 gun drones, and 1 recon drone. In the scouting phase, I choose to take forward positions, and he chose to shoot those who take forward positions. In the deployment, I started deploying my fire team, 1 on the left and 1 on the right. But after that, I deployed everything else on the left side because the terrain has a solid wall there that I can hide behind and he can't shoot at me. And then I choose to take forward positions behind the wall for 2 models. And he couldn't see me, so he couldn't shoot at me using his scouting phase tactic. I won the initiative, so I used my medic to give a steam shot to my troop master and he charged. Unfortunately, I rolled quite low, so I could only engage 2 of his drones. I'll show you the image later. My Zealot rolled better, so he managed to charge into a drone and the leader. The rest of my guys are a little bit far away. My fire team in the open made an advance in behind the wall. My medic is still back there because he actually attempted a charge needing a very high roll, but I didn't get it, so I chose not to move the medic. The reason why I tried to charge my medic because it could give the aura to my troop master and the zealot. One is the 6+ ignore wound and the other one is to roll 2 dice and take the lowest result for the injury roll. What my opponent then did for all his unengaged model, he advanced all of them to the other side of the table, away from the rest of my army, which I believe is the right thing to do. And he even ran away from his turret, so his turret exploded. My priority models to get into the fray would be the Zealot for the Exultant aura and the Medic for the protective auras that she has. So one thing to take note about the drones is that if I deal lethal damage to his guy and he transfers it to the drone, it's not considered a kill from my model. So it's good to kill the drones first. So what happened in the combat? My troop master rolled very badly for charge. It only can engage the two closest model, which are two drones. So it killed both the drones and it consolidated towards the closest enemy, which is the leader stealth suit. What my Zealot did, he was engaged with a drone, and the stealth suit is it killed the drone, but it did not manage to kill the stealth suit. So my troop master actually paid 2 CPs for the war dancer tactic to fight again at the end of the fight phase, and he managed to take the stealth suit out. So I scored 2 points for killing 2 drones and 2 points for killing a specialist, which is the leader specialist. So round 2, I won initiative. I already have 4 VP. I could either run back and hide for the rest of the game, but I decided to go all in. So I try to charge one of my models that he can't see, so which is those that's behind the wall. Unfortunately, the one that's closest to the enemy is in the corner, which is my leader specialist, because I put him there to be in the safest corner. Ended up he's closest to the enemy. He charged and only just made it to the closest gun drone. Some of the rest of my models tried to charge, needing very high rolls, but did not get it, so they failed charge and stayed there. I ran one of my fire team to the lower right corner behind the brown container. Now the rest of my models that charged in, the 2 guys that were there, what I did was I advanced my medic to be within 3 inches of my troop master and Zealot. So when they charged and take the overwatch fire, especially from Tau, they have for the greater good, so they can fire with all their models. They're all within 6 inches of each other. So my medic is there to help my models survive against the overwatch in case it kills me. I charged my Zealot first, but he failed his charge and ended somewhere just out of the building, if you can see it on the screen. My troop master made it in though. I came to realize that overwatch fire, because you need to hit on a 6, is not as scary as it seems. And in the shooting phase, he shot at my Zealot, who's just flapping in the breeze, and he died. My medic was behind the building being shot at as well, but it survived with a flash wound. The combat for my troop master, he charged into 2 shield drones and the rail rifle sniper, but I think it's a mistake to engage so many altogether. And I rolled really poorly. I think I did not kill a single model, as you can see from my dice tray. Now the funny part was my leader dealt little damage to the gun drone, but only managed to put a flash wound on him, and his flash wounded gun drone killed my leader back in return. So round 3 comes along. I won the initiative again. So I charged my medic into the fray, as well as the Harlequin that was behind the brown container. What my opponent then did was to fall back 2 of the models engaged with my troop master. The last one, he couldn't fall back because it was charged by the medic as well, so that one was the sacrificial piece to take the damage from both the medic and the troop master. I fought with my medic first because she charged and she killed the model that's engaging both the troop master and the medic, so the troop master had nothing to fight. We realized that he did not fight with one of his models against my fire team Harlequin at the bottom. So when we went back for him to roll his dice, he managed to kill my Harlequin player again. My opponent won the initiative for round 4, so he charged 1 shield drone into my troop master to pin him there, while the other shield drone engaged with my medic fell back. So my medic could not fight this round. I've already lost 3 models, and I know that my medic will be dead to gunfire. So I tried to move my medic back into cover by falling back. So out of the 2 guys behind the building, I managed to charge one of them into combat. I also just realized while doing this battle report that the medic already has a flesh wound, which counts as a casualty towards considering whether your warband needs to take a morale check. My medic gave itself a painkiller for 2 CPs. It's a level 2 medic tactic that makes her toughness 5. But in the shooting phase, when my opponent shot at the medic, she still died anyway. In the combat phase, my Harlequin fire team killed the drone, but I made a huge tactical mistake of consolidating into the next drone, because that means he could just fall back next round and I couldn't fight. For my Troop Master, he rolled very badly again and did not kill a single model. So losing the medic meant I have to take the morale check, which was why I was trying desperately to try to keep her alive. I survived the morale check though. My kill team was not broken, so I don't lose immediately. But I also rolled for a round 5. So we go on to round 5. Round 5, my last guy behind the building attempted to charge out, but failed his charge. I let it move its full distance into the open anyway. And the rest was stuck in combat, and he fell back. Now, I may have played wrongly for falling back my Troop Master to get cover behind the pipe after he fell back, because my movement is already over. Now, in the shooting phase, my opponent prioritized killing the normal player first before putting the remaining shots into my Troop Master, which I thought might be a mistake, because you should kill the Troop Master first so that the leadership drops from 9 to 8 for the morale check. So anyway, my Troop Master survived. At the end of the round, I rolled 5 for my morale check, so it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. And I rolled a 3 on whether the game continues, so it ends, because I needed a 4+ from round 5 to round 6. That gave me the victory with 4 VPs I killed from the first round, and I'm left with 2 guys at the end of the game. After battle thoughts and lessons learned, first thing is we should always try, as a melee army, you should always try to kill all the models you're engaged with in your charge. If not, the next round they will get to fall back and your guy couldn't fight. So we must try to do that as much as possible. When I take forward positions, I always end up having just that 2 guys who managed to charge into combat the first round, and the rest of the army is far behind. So although it gave a great first turn charge possibility, it kind of detaches me from the rest of the army, so it's a bit dangerous there. I'm terrified of guns, so I always try to hide out of line of sight of the opponent, but I wonder if there's merit in just moving everyone up but behind cover. For my opponent, I think he could have deployed his army further back, especially his leader specialist shouldn't be caught on that first turn charge. Using the back boardage to help deny landing space for my Harlequins is also a good tactic. And for Harlequins, I think the CPs are best spent on rerolling your invul saves, because if you get to reroll invul saves, it really helps a lot. But of course, you can only do once every phase. The Steam Pack helps in getting that +1 to charge, so it might help a very important charge. The Kiss I equipped on my Troop Master, because I did not put it on my Zealot when the campaign started, so now my Zealot is leveled up and I can't change its gear. If I were to redo it, I think I'll put the Kiss on the Zealot instead, because it gets that +1 strength on a charge. So that will make the Kiss strength 5, which is much better. So although the Troop Master has 5 attacks and 2+ to hit, I'll much prefer it on the Zealot. I think that strength 4 was part of why I kept failing to kill with the Troop Master on the drones, because I think the drones are toughness 4, so I needed 4+, and I rolled a lot of 3s and 2s. I didn't have as much CP to spend on the Commander Aura, because I'm mainly spending it on rerolls, 1 on Steam Shot, 1 on the Painkiller, and 1 on War Dancer. So I think spending on War Dancers and rerolling the invul saves are one of the most important CPs to spend on for Harlequins. I think Harlequins are really strong in campaign games because of the leveled up specialists and fire teams that you get to have. A lot of players in my local hobby store did not bother to level up their guys. They always bring level 1 because they seem to feel the 4 point extra per model per level is very expensive, and it's administratively easier if they just kept it all at level 1. But for myself, I went for all the aura based specialisms because that really force multiplies and gives you a lot of value, much more than the 4 points you're paying for. And for this, I'm talking about the medics, the zealot, and the leader, which has Paragon. It's also much more fun for me as a Harlequin player because I only have players in my normal queue team, and commanders also made it much more fun because I have 3 options, although I don't think the Death Jester is viable. This is my first battle report video. It's like a pilot run. I don't have most of the equipment that I want to use yet to do the recording of the video and the audio. So hopefully that will get better in the future, and I'm still getting used to speaking to the computer. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you at the next video.